like to thank God Almighty for giving everybody so much and me so little. I hate you, I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Okay, there's still a lot going on in the news. In fact, I came up in the news. I was very shocked and amazed. But before we deal with that, let's open up with some scripture. Let's go. Today's topic is going to be called, let me get a name, Diotrephes, or Diotrephes, you know, it's either tomato, ministry of hate. Diotrephes, ministry of hate. That's what we're going to talk about today. And keep. Let me know what's going on online on there. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna open up with 3 John, verse 9. I'm gonna start right there. And today's class is gonna be proactive in letting you younger men know that when you come in this truth, what to expect on the path of righteousness. Now, if you're on the path of niggerdom, expect good things to come your way. Niggas will love you. But if you're walking after Christ, you're going to catch some hell. Watch this, 3 John. Let's start at verse 9.
The book of 3 John, verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence.
Pause right there. I want y'all to know something. Give me the scripture where it said we found some... He followeth not with us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Give me that. Somebody find. I'm coming right back. I just want to show y'all something. Mark 9, and find me the verse. Just find me the verse. Find me the verse. I need y'all to hold on to your seats. I can't tell a wig joke no more up in here because sisters dealing with their own hair. I love that thing. Where is it, Mark? 9:38. Yeah, read that for us. Watch this.
The book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 38. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us. And we forbade him, because he followeth not us. But Jesus said, Forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me.
So during the time of Christ, you had people not following. They knew of Christ. They believed on him. And they did not follow with Christ's circle. They didn't follow with that circle. Now, from there, get me Philippians chapter 1. I don't know what verse I want. Help me out here. 15, thank you. 14, 15, you know, somewhere right there. About some preach Christ, that one right there. So my point, I don't want to lose nobody at today's train. You had people teaching, preaching, casting out devils who did not follow with Christ and the disciples. They believed on Christ, and that's as far as it went. Who got it? You got it for me, Captain?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Philippians chapter 1 and verse...
Is it 14, 15?
14, 15. And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. Mm-hmm. Some indeed preach Christ even of envy and strife.
So pause. You got to ask yourself, well, who are these groups preaching in envy and strife? Those are the groups that was not following with the 12. Read on. Read it again.
And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. Some indeed preach Christ even of envy and strife.
So you had some Israelites who preached out of the spirit of envy and strife. Go ahead.
And some also of goodwill.
You had some Israelites who preached in goodwill. Go ahead.
The one preached Christ of contention.
You had certain groups preaching Christ contentiously, argumentatively. Go ahead.
Not sincerely.
Not sincerely. Go ahead.
Supposing to add affliction to my bonds.
I am better than you, Paul. That was that spirit. I am better than you, Paul. Right, emulation. Go ahead.
But the other of love.
But the others preached of love. Go ahead.
Knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
They knew that Paul was set in defense of the gospel. So now let's go back to 3 John and verse 9 and 10. Oh, go back to Philippians 1. Deacon Nathanyel wants us to read verse 18. Let me look at that. You might be right. I know you're deep, Python. I know you're deep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 18. What then, notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer.
Okay.
And the supply.
Hold on, Isaac. Hold on.
Read verse 18 says, what then notwithstanding, every way, whether in pretense. I mean, you have some that preach him not because they believe.
Right.
It's just to be seen.
Right.
They want attention. Look at me. I call them attention whores. That's what they are. Attention whores. As you have Israelite camps that teach just to be seen. They'll stand on the freezing cold just for a camera and teach the camera. Not their people. People walking by in sin and wickedness. Yeah, the Christ and Yahushua in front of the camera. That's pretense. They're not sincere. They don't believe in the Messiah. That's why it says, earlier it says, not sincerely. That goes back to being in pretense. Then he says, or in truth, meaning they're sincere. They love their people and they teach them in truth, sincerely. He says, Paul says, regardless of which one does it, I'm happy because the word's being spread regardless. Because Paul knew that one camp can't spread the gospel by itself. Right. That's what Paul understood. Whether in pretense or in truth, one camp cannot gather 144,000 from all four corners of the earth. That's a spirit of arrogance, and you're an egotistical maniac when you think like that. All right, and it says, and I dare rejoice, I will rejoice. I mean, regardless of who teaches what way, whether it's sincerely or not, I rejoice. The gospel's being spread. Exactly. That's it.
And that's Paul's attitude is our attitude. We ain't trying to shut nobody down from teaching. We like to see Israelites pop up. Now, we know some of them are crazy, though. We say some of these dudes are crazy. But let them go out and do their thing. Let them do it. Now, let's go to 3 John. 3 John.
3 John in verse 9.
And you sisters, some of y'all get caught up in it. We know some of you sisters. I ain't going to talk about you today, sisters. Today, y'all got a day off. But sisters go, well, which way should I go? I said, sister, I can't make that decision for you. Wherever you think the Spirit of the Lord is, you go forth and do you. She's like, oh, okay. I think I want to join IUIC. You sure about that, sis? Now, 3 John, verse 9. Watch this.
3 John in verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence.
Can we look up the word preeminence? Can we look that? Let's Google that word. That's not a regular Negro word. I don't use it.
It should be a Negro word.
It should be, but I'm confused.
When you look the word up, the Negro pops up. This picture with his big white teeth. It shows up as soon as you put the picture. Boom.
Okay, here we go. Blow it up for me. You know I'm half blind. Let me look at it. Preeminence, the fact of surpassing all others, superiority, predominance, eminence, importance, prestige, stature, fame, renown, celebrity. Let me see. Go. Is there any more? Okay. Well, they're all right. These meanings are okay. Distinguished, peerless, supreme. See, dominant.
Is there an Urban Dictionary?
Well, you know, Urban Dictionary isn't necessarily a right dictionary. Ruling, governing, controlling, having or exerting authority or influence, occupying or being in a commanding or elevated position, predominant, main, major, chief. Okay, now those are fine. So let's go back to 3 John. So now that we have the mindset that to have the preeminence, your mindset is one, you like to be superior. You like to be the main guy. You in Negro in urban vernacular, right. You like to be the HNIC.
But you can't be.
Right. Y'all know what HNIC mean, right? Some of y'all looking confused. Head nigga in charge, in case you don't know. Head nigga in charge. 3 John verse 9. Come on.
I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not.
I want y'all to, let's pause there. Do y'all know who John is, John? This John is one of the men that walked with Christ. You don't read about no Negro named Diotrephes walking with him. It said that this dude who loved to have the preeminence received us not. The us is the 12, the apostles. Are you kidding me? You got to sit back and scratch your head and go, you're not receiving the men that walked and talked with Christ, the men that sat down and ate with Christ, the men that saw miracle after miracle. You're not receiving them. You've got to be crazy.
Hold it now. Go back to that definition again. You got to put the words in the verse to understand what this is saying here in the scripture. Yes, the first one that we looked at, the one that the bishop pulled out. It says what? Synonyms: superiority, supremacy, greatness, excellence, distinction, prominence, predominance, eminence, importance, all of those things, prestige. These are the things that a Negro will hope to be.
Right.
That's the point I want to bring out. Now read the scripture again.
I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence.
So the point is about him loving to have the preeminence. But in fact, did he really have the preeminence? No. That's the point I'm bringing out, because it says, among them you received us not, like you bring it out. Mm-hmm. You don't, here you got Paul. Paul was greater than all of them.
This is John.
John was greater than all of them. And he says he's just going to disregard him like he ain't going to even receive him. That's crazy.
Exactly. Now watch this. Read the next verse.
Verse 10. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds.
He said, when I come, I will remember his deeds. Now watch this. Go ahead.
Which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words.
Can we look up this word prating? Prating. Now, everything we go over today, brothers and sisters, you're going to see how relevant it is today. Prating. What does that word mean? I'm confused. Definition. Prat.
So as we're reading the 10th verse, you see that he didn't really have the preeminence. Y'all see that? Because all of these qualities was in him.
Right. To prat means to talk foolishly or tediously about something. Any more synonyms for
Well,
that?
that's good, Bishop. Wait a minute. If you have those kinds of attributes, would you consider them to be like those definitions that we read earlier? Preeminent. I mean, what was some of the things? Superior. All those other great qualities of being truly preeminent. Would you associate those qualities with what we read in verse 10? No. So he did not really have the preeminence. That's what the scriptures is talking about.
Exactly.
He thought he had the preeminence, but he was a damn fool.
Right. Well, look at this. Prat. To talk excessively and, when you always got somebody's name in your mouth. Constantly. You're stalking. To talk excessively and pointlessly. Babble. It says to utter an empty or foolish talk. Now, this is how that guy was getting down. Can we read verse 10 one more again?
Yes, sir. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words.
Look up the word malicious. Notice he says prating against us. The us is the apostles. This dude was talking reckless against the apostles of God. Did he really? You gotta ask, does he really believe? No. Christ set them up, and this dude was running his mouth. Had a congregation.
All that.
Come on. Where we at? Who's reading that? Malice.
Ain't saying nothing.
That's it. What is it?
That right there.
Okay.
Intending or intended to do harm.
Right. Spiteful, malevolent, evil intentioned.
That's it. Right
vindictive.
There you go.
Vengeful.
That's the Negro.
Malign, mean, nasty, hurtful, mischievous, wounding, cruel, unkind. Wait a minute, look at the word. Bitchy, catty. Whoa! Oh, now that ain't us saying it. That's the definition.
Exactly. Right.
That's a good one right there. I like that. See, if I say that word too often, somebody gonna think I'm evil. But it says bitchy. It says bitchy. Look, bitchy.
It's an
bitchy.
Informal bitchy. Wounding. Cruel.
Catty.
Destroyer of property. Stuff like that. That's them.
Woo!
That's what they look to do. That's the Negro. Preeminent doesn't have the picture of the Negro in it. This one does.
Click the arrow. Okay, that was it. So, you're wicked. So you're also wicked. So now, can we read verse? What I want y'all to see is what we're going to go over today. You're going to see in Israel today. regardless of the border of blue, regardless of the fringes.
Long fringes.
Long fringes, long dusty fringes. Regardless of how good the beard looks, as well-grown beard is out to here. Don't fall for it. Some Israelites prat in this walk. Read that again, verse 10.
Verse 10. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with...
Prating.
It's prating.
It's prating? Okay, go ahead.
Prating against us with malicious words.
With malicious, hurtful words. Go ahead.
And not content therewith.
And this Negro was not content with running in the mouth, talking
Garbage.
catty, talking, yeah, that word. Go ahead.
Neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church.
Read that again.
And not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren.
He, meaning when they came to visit the congregation, no, y'all can't come up in here. Do you know who these guys are? These are the apostles. No, you're not welcome here. You cannot come up in here. Go ahead.
And forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church.
Meaning if anybody was in his congregation and wanted to visit the 12 apostles, he throw them out. You're not welcome back in the congregation. That is the mind of an evil, vengeful, vindictive, wicked Negro who was preaching, allegedly, the gospel. Now, can you determine based on this, was he preaching sincerely or in pretense?
There you go.
In pretense. You're going to find out that what we're going to go over today, you're going to find a lot of Israelites that fit this. Get me Matthew 10:25, please. Hey, you might even say, well, maybe I fit it. Maybe that's me.
No, they ain't going to say
Let's
that.
find out.
They're not going to say that.
Matthew 10:25.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 25. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house of Beelzebub, how much...
Beelzebub means Lord of the flies. Lord of all uncleanness. Go ahead.
How much more shall they call them of his household?
So not only did they call Christ the Savior, the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of the flies, and Lord of all uncleanness, they did it with the apostles. That's what you read in 3 John, where it said he was prating against us with malicious words. It was the same thing. So guess what, brothers? When you walk after Christ, these are the things that will happen and will come your way. Everybody understand what I'm reading? Okay, now watch this. Get me the video. There's his brother's name, Eric Thomas.
Listen to me closely. When I was a child, I talked like a child. You understand? I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, are you hearing me? When I became a man, I put away childish things. So in order for you to do milestones, you got to get rid of all the distractions. Now, let me start here. Like, don't flatter yourself. You ain't that deep. Like, your haters is not about you. Let me tell you that. Like, they hating on me. Don't flatter yourself. This ain't about you. All right? If you go deep, haters don't got nothing to do with you. A hater is dealing with their own insecurity. It ain't about you. Some hater, the person that's hating on you, they said that they were going to be at this particular place in their life, that they were going to accomplish this in their life. So all you are is a reflection of them of what they have not done. It's not about you. As a matter of fact, when you move on and do what you do, they're going to hate on somebody else. So don't flatter yourself.
How many of y'all understand what he just said there? Because that's exactly right. We are being a reminder of what they failed to become.
And with that, we say shalom. Drop the mic.
That's deep.
That is deep. Get that in 1 John about he that hateth not man. Give me that. 1 Thessalonians.
Thessalonians.
Thank you. 4:8. Thank you. So wait a minute. I do want to see the video. Just go back one more time. Because there's certain things he said. I said, wow, that's some heavy stuff right there. And then hold that on 1 Thessalonians, or 2 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians. Hold that, and go back to 3:30. I just like the way the brother dropped it. Now, Eric Thomas, he ain't in the truth, but Lord's will, he will repent. Hey, send him a flyer. Never know. You never know where a brother's mind is.
Exactly.
Listen to me closely. When I was a child, I talked like a child. You understand? I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, are you hearing me? When I became a man, I put away childish things. So in order for you to do milestones, you got to get rid of all the distractions. Now, let me start here. Like, don't flatter yourself. You ain't that deep. Like, your haters is not about you. Let me tell you that. Like, they hating on me. Don't flatter yourself. This ain't about you. All right? If you go deep, haters don't got nothing to do with you. A hater is dealing with their own insecurity. It ain't about you. Some hater, the person that's hating on you, they said that they were going to be at this particular place in their life, that they were going to accomplish this in their life. So all you are is a reflection of them of what they have not done. It's not about you. As a matter of fact, when you move on and do what you do, they're going to hate on somebody else. So don't flatter yourself.
That's it.
Now, the reason why he's saying that is because what's actually happening is that whenever the haters are hating on the person that they're pointing to, the people are asking them, didn't you say you was going to be such and such by then? Didn't you say you were going to have this? Didn't you say you were going to do that? So they're being challenged by the people who they said this thing to, but yet they don't see that in them. They see it in the person that they hate. They say, but you said you were going to do this, but meanwhile, they're doing it. So what about you? And then their own insecurities pop up.
Yeah, hold on, bitch. You notice that, like everything that person want to be, he find yourself to be. So he hit on you because he want to be you. Then he want to be you so bad. He will trash your name. He will do anything. But at the end of the day, he's not trashing you because you was not set up by yourself. Somebody else set you up. He trashing that person who put you up there. But in his mind, he's thinking he's fighting against you. You're just a messenger. You're fighting against the man who sent me. You're not fighting against me. So I will continue my works. As I was sent to do what I meant to be done, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to worry about haters because my job is focusing one thing. That's why I said don't worry about your left or right. Focus.
A hater is a sick Negro. I'm going to tell you why I said that. Because let's say I'm trying to aspire to be something. I'm trying to get to a particular situation.
You want to be a rapper?
No, I don't want to do that. Well, let's say I'm trying to get to whatever it may be. And I see, let's say an architect or engineer or something like that, and I have not yet fulfilled that thing. But yet, I see somebody else doing it. Why am I going to hate on them when I can actually look at them and ask, how did you do it? How could I learn to get where you at? A nigga, I'll call him a nigga. A nigga don't think that way. A Negro don't think that way. He wants to pull him down because he's afraid to challenge his own weak self to be a man to do the things that he know he should do.
There you go. Now get that scripture. I want y'all to listen good. 1 Thessalonians 4:8.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 8.
This proves that when hate comes your way, it's not about you. Go ahead.
He therefore that despiseth not man, but God, who hath also given unto his Holy Spirit.
Who hath also given unto us his Holy Spirit. So when you come in this truth, you're walking the footsteps of Christ, and somebody looking at you as evil, that's because they see the God in you. They see the Holy Spirit within you, something that they say they have, but they really do not have the Spirit of God within them. So they're hating what they see in you. So now, bear with me a second. Some brothers out here is angry with our camp colors. They so mad about purple and gold. So mad, in fact, they said what inspired us is Prince and the Revolution. What the hell is this? Can we look at Dave? Now I said, Prince is too light skinned. I said I can't be Prince. But then I said maybe they thinking I'm like Dave Chappelle. Can you show me Dave Chappelle, the Prince, what was it? What's it called? I said, well, maybe this is where it's coming from. Maybe. Let's take a look at it. I saw the video. I said, this is some good stuff here. So I heard that we got the colors from Prince and the Revolution, Purple Rain. Now, when me and this other dude was talking, I don't know if Deacon Malachi, he was a young man at the time. I think he was eavesdropping to our conversation.
Yeah, it was.
He was doing this. But I was talking to the other dude, the brother, saying, listen, this is what I would like. We need to hook it up like this. And he was listening. And then he went to his wife, and then she designed the first camp garments that we had.
Absolutely.
All praise to the Most High. Now, did it come from me? Like, I don't have a Prince album. Do I have a Prince album? I don't own a Prince album. But let's go. Let me show you where I got the inspiration from. Give me the book of Esther, please.
You mean you gonna go into the Bible?
I'm going to go into the Bible.
You mean these niggas ain't read the Bible?
They have never read the Bible.
Damn. They watch Prince videos, but they ain't read the Bible.
There you go.
Gonna
There
make
you
a
go.
statement like that on television all over the place, but they ain't read the Bible.
Have never read the Bible.
That's befitting of the Negro.
So the book of Esther, chapter 8 and verse 15. So some question on camp colors, our organizing of black and Latin men, it angers them, it disturbs them. So they are prating against us with malicious words. But let's see what the scriptures say in the book of Esther. Come on, y'all. Esther 8:15. All I want is 15.
Esther, the book of chapter 8, verse 15. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
So when I read this, I said Mordecai, who lived during the Persian and Mede captivity, I said this brother was bad. He got honored for protecting the king and for later on helping his people. Now from there, give me 1 Ezra chapter 3 in the Apocrypha. 1 Ezra chapter 3 verse 5. See, I like to read. And I try to, encourage you brothers to read. Reading is fundamental when you come into this truth. You call yourself an Israelite, a preacher of righteousness, you have to start to read. Don't watch videos. Unless it's to help bring out a point. Now, 1 Ezra chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, please.
1 Ezra chapter 3 and verse 5 and 6. Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others.
Who knows who's speaking here? Who is speaking here in 1 Ezra chapter 3? Who's speaking? Nobody knows. Yes, young man right there.
Darius?
No. I'll just tell you, write this down. Zerubbabel. Read again.
Verse 5. Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others. Unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts, and great things in token of victory, as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold.
To be clothed in purple. And to drink gold, to drink in gold, go ahead.
And to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and an head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck.
So now, from there, get me 1 Maccabees chapter 10, verse 62 to 64. And when you read 1 Ezra, it tells you that Zerubbabel, who was the king's bodyguard, by the way, now today you call that secret service man, his wisdom was so great, they gave him the purple garment and dressed him. Okay? And what did he do? He said, let the Israelites, let us return to our homeland. Fulfill the promise that King Cyrus ordained, that the temple would be rebuilt. Okay? You got it for me, Captain?
Yes, sir.
Maccabees 10, 62 to 64.
1 Maccabees chapter 10 and verse 62. Yea, more than that, the king commanded to take off his garments and clothe him in purple, and they did so. Also he made him sit by himself, and said unto his princes, go with him into the midst of the city, and make proclamation, that no man complain against him of any matter, and that no man trouble him for any matter of cause. Now when his accusers saw that he was honored according to the proclamation, and clothed in purple, they fled all away.
Y'all see that? So his enemies fled all away. Watch this. 1 Maccabees 14:43.
First Maccabees chapter 14 and verse 43. Beside this, that he should be obeyed of every man.
Talking about Simon Maccabee. Go ahead.
And that all the writings in the country should be made in his name. And that he should be clothed in purple.
There we go again. Clothed in purple. Go ahead.
And wear gold. Also that it should be lawful for none of the people or priests to break any of these things, or to gainsay his words, or to gather in assembly in the country without him, or to be clothed in purple, or wear a buckle of gold.
So it was even illegal to wear. They said, Simon is so great, nobody else is allowed to wear that color. It was only him. So it was always a dignified royal color. Now, what sealed it for me is when I read John 19, 1 through 5. John 19, 1 through 5.
So the Negro just could have just simply called and asked.
They could have asked. You better
They just
ask
could have
somebody.
just did that and asked rather than to just look totally stupid.
John 19, 1 through 5.
The book of John, chapter 19 and verse 1. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him, and the soldiers platted a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe and said, Hail, King of the Jews!
So they were mocking Christ in a purple garment. Put a purple garment on him and mocked him. Go ahead.
And said, Hail, King of the Jews! And they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then came Jesus forth, wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man.
So when I read this, I don't know about y'all, when I read scripture, I try to get into it. I try to witness what I'm reading. So I'm witnessing the Son of God come out with a crown of thorns on his head, a purple robe on, and they're mocking him. And I said, you know what? I said, the Spirit said, get a purple garment. The same purple that they mocked our king, and we're going to put on and mock our enemies and tear down his kingdom in the Spirit of God. Can I get a witness?
That's right.
So I don't want to hear no foolishness about Prince in the purple rain.
Like that man said, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I spake as a child. I reasoned as a child. That's what you just witnessed.
Exactly.
Right.
So
You
that's
had you had to be royalty to wear purple and gold. You had to be royal. You understand? One time, no regular person could wear that. You understand? So that's how we got to look at it as wearing the purple when we out there. You understand? Only royalty could have wear that back in the days.
You even learned that in this system. That purple is a royal color. See, I hate to say this. Esau is not stupid. He does research. If he's going to use purple as a royal color, you believe me, he read what we just went over. He said, I know there's royalty in that. He said, the Negro don't know nothing about these things, but I'm going to do some reading.
Hey, and you know what? It even have brothers that's amongst us that complain about the purple. I don't like purple. And yo, listen, if you don't like it,
get out.
Yeah, just go, man. Or I don't want to wear the purple. I don't like purple. And it says, yo, you don't like it, you don't got to wear it. You don't got to be a part of us. Just keep it moving.
There you go.
You
So when I read these scriptures, brothers and sisters, I saw meaning in purple. I saw meaning in that color. So as a people, we've been stripped of our royal heritage. The wicked mocked our king, our leader, our commander with purple. Well, as servants, we're going to mock this kingdom and raise up the 12 tribes of Israel doing it. Give me Psalms chapter 2. We're going to read 1 through 6 now.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1.
And I know order is a hard thing for a black man. Like when you get into the military and Esau forces you to wear that camouflage. Black people, you Spanish, your face is twitch. You better not flinch your face. They curse you out. They blast you. Why? Because they're trying to make you of one mind. See, a Negro hate that thing. He don't know nothing about it. Esau understands the science behind it. He said, in order to be in this man's military, you must all be of one mind. When we send you someplace, you must all be of one mind. There's no individualist in the military. Exactly. Everybody thinks the same.
But I want to go deeper than that. Because the white man, Esau, he didn't make that up. He went into the scriptures and got that.
There you go.
When you read about Gideon and his army, those final 300 men, do you think they had individual thoughts? They had to be single-minded on the mission of Gideon's army.
That's right. Exactly.
Single-minded.
Exactly.
That took discipline. They had to have the mind focus. It's the same thing.
When you read the book of Numbers, it tells you, see, I got to get it just for a second, brothers. Bear with me a second. Get Numbers, I think it's you. I think it's Numbers, it's 2 or 12, I think. It talks about the ranks. Numbers chapter 2 and 1.
Numbers chapter 2 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house.
So whatever the ensign, if you're Issachar, the ass was your ensign. If you're Zebulun, your ensign was the ship. If you're Judah, your ensign was the lion. If you're Benjamin, the ensign was a wolf, and so forth and so on. Go ahead.
Far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. Verse 3. And on the east side toward the rising of the sun.
So when the sun is rising, let's see who's there. Go ahead.
Toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies.
So now Moses is giving the orders. He says, Judah, you are on the east side toward the rising of the sun. Better believe this. Not one Judite said, well, why I got to be on the east? I want to be on the west. That didn't happen in Israel. Everything was rank, order, and structure. That's something the white man tries to beat us, but we can't get it. Now you come in Israel, I'm just confused. I don't understand.
I hope y'all see that. I hope y'all see that. And y'all see this the way we run things in here is exactly what we read. Like you was talking about the ensign. Look around the room. About
That's
like
right.
with
These
the
are
tribes. You
ensigns
see
you
these?
see.
This is not just made up. All this stuff comes out of the scriptures. And if you got a leader that cannot explain his doctrine, that's a fool.
Exactly.
Because everything that we are about, we can explain it.
Yep.
Out of the scriptures.
Jump
Not
down
out
to
of
verse,
some doggone video they seen on TV like a damn child.
Exactly. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. All that were numbered in the camp of Judah were 100,000 and 80,000 and 6,400 throughout their armies. These shall first set forth.
So Judah went forth first. Them on the east side, they led the military. They led the army. Go ahead.
On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben.
Then he says, the tribe of Reuben, you cover the south flank. Nobody said, well, I got to be on the south side. They all did it. Come on.
According to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elizur, the son of Shadur, and his host, and those that were numbered thereof.
Jump down to 18.
So wait a minute, Bishop. You mean to tell me there's leadership telling people what to do here?
There you go.
So I heard that doctrine too. That everybody's on the equal level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's leadership being read here.
That's right. Exactly. Jump down to 18.
Verse 18. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim, according to their armies. And the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Ammihud.
So what I'm showing you, everybody had rank. We didn't come out of Egypt like a bunch of goombas. We came out and God, through the Spirit of God, got on Moses, Joshua, and Aaron and them and said, set this up. Rank, file,
Put it in
and
order.
order.
Put it in order.
The
Like
Most
what
High,
the Psalms say.
the New Testament said that God is not the author of confusion. Y'all understand that? So it mean, that one verse, because we read it on the street, the God is not the author of confusion, that covers so many different levels, okay? It covers us as a people, your family, everything, like in Corinthians, where it said, the 1 Corinthians 11, 3 and 4, about God, Christ, man, and woman. God is always about order. Our mind must be born again to accept that thing. But the average Israelite mind cannot accept that. Refuses to accept it. Now, where was we before? Where were we?
Psalms.
Psalms chapter 2. Thank you.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2 and verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsels together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying.
So, from there, we're coming right back here. Go to Acts 4 to show you exactly who is involved in this great this gathering against the Lord's anointed.
Acts 4 verse 25. Who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why did the heathen rage, and the people imagine vain things?
Let's see who the heathen and the people are. Read.
The kings of the earth stood up,
Uh-huh.
and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ.
He gonna break it down now.
For of a truth against thy holy child Jesus, whom thou hast anointed, both Herod,
Herod, a white man,
and Pontius Pilate,
another white man,
with the Gentiles,
with the Gentiles,
and the people of Israel,
wicked Israelites.
were gathered together.
What I want you now, let's go right back to Psalms. Now we got the thought. You had wicked Israelites joined with the white man against the servants of Christ. You think it only happened back then? We're going to blow your socks off in today's class and show you it shall happen today. Back to Psalms chapter 2, verse 1 again.
Psalms 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
The people imagine lies. Go ahead.
The kings of the earth set themselves,
So the white man set themselves
and the rulers take counsel together
with the wicked Israelites. Go ahead.
against the Lord and against his anointed, saying,
Here it come.
let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Let's see what the bands are. Give me that Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 14. Let us break their bands asunder. Right. So what I'm showing y'all, because some of us be in La La Land, we think everybody that know they Israel is righteous. That is not true, brothers. When you read in the New Testament, those scribes and Pharisees who joined with the white man, they knew they was Israelites, and they was wicked as hell. You had Israelites who thought they was against Rome, like we read about Diotrephes. He was against Christ. He was against the apostles. Come on, where we at, Cat?
Zechariah chapter 11, verse 14. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
That's the bands that was being broken asunder. The brotherhood between Judah and Israel. All right, everybody understand that?
Yes,
Let's go back.
Psalms chapter 2 and verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Now the cords goes with when you read in Acts and they beat the apostles and said, we forbid you to preach in his name, this gospel that you preach. They beat the apostles and said, don't teach that no more. Read on.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
See what God gonna do? The Most High Almighty said he gonna laugh. I'm gonna see all this going down and I'm going to laugh. Go ahead.
The Lord shall have them in derision.
Uh-huh.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Read that again.
Read that 4th verse again.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have.
Most High. Go ahead.
The Lord shall have them in derision.
The Most High is going to have them in derision. You remember we read the scripture earlier about some preach Christ in truth, and some preach in contention and what was the other one? And pretense. What the Most High is going to do to them, he's going to and strife and all that. Although the gospel is being preached, those same ones are going to be castaways. He's going to put them to death. He's going to kill them if they don't repent. Exactly. That's what he's talking about. That's why he's saying, read this verse again.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
First thing he's going to do is put them in derision. Go ahead.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath.
Then he's going to put his wrath upon them.
And
So they're going to get their justice for speaking against the Most High. They're going to get their just due reward. Although Christ is being preached through them because they're preaching in contention and strife and envy and all of that, the Most High he said, yeah, I'm going to use you to put my name out there and all that, but I'm going to kill you in the end.
Yeah, verse 5 again.
then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Because they thought that Worm was their friend. What after 70 AD, look what Worm did to them. They thought Worm was a good fellow white boy. You understand? Look what Worm did to us. You understand? God speak to them in his wrath. What about the white man you depend on? Let him help you now. Let him help you now.
Exactly. Matthew 24 and verse 9. Verse 9 and 10 is what I want.
Matthew 24 and verse 9.
Here's the prophecy.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Now, this started back then. This started back then with the apostles. Go ahead.
And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
How many nations, brothers? All nations. Read.
And then shall many be offended.
Many Israelites, many of you shall be offended. Go ahead.
And shall betray one another.
What's that word?
Betray one another.
What we're reading here that did occur back then, we're going to see this again. Go ahead.
And shall hate one another.
Y'all see that? And shall hate one another. Do y'all see hate amongst Israelite camps today? Do y'all see hate amongst Israelite camps today? So don't think that this is a fairy tale or La La Land. Get me the next video, please. Get me yeah. Dave Chappelle, I like that brother. I do funny. Send him a flyer. Send him a flyer. Get me the one where he's standing in front. He got this funny hat on. If I see the picture, I'll know. Let me look. Yeah, that's it. It's real short. Just. Or you be mindful of the language. There might be some language in it, so I apologize about the language up front. Go ahead.
I would like to thank God Almighty for giving everybody so much and me so little. I hate you, I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
So now, wait. He starts off thanking God. You have Israelites who pick the Bible up, thank Yahweh Shem, Yahushai, and then speak all manner. Say, I hate you. I want you dead. Your family dead. I hate your guts. You're worse than Darren Wilson. What's his name?
Darren Wilson.
That worst thing on earth. It's the same spirit. Can we get the next video? Well,
hold on, Bishop. We have to let our tongue do it. Our tongue do it good, bro.
Well, I want to show the next one.
Show the next video.
Better the way our tongue do it. Man.
Okay, I thought hold your thought. Give me the next one with Ice-T. He's standing up. Yeah, right here. Here you go.
There you go.
There we go.
And racists especially to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball. Oh man, hate. Man, you corny. Next nigga say something while I'm talking is getting shot. Please believe that. So without further ado, let me give you the nominations.
So now, is there one more?
Yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man. Oh shit, just look at this nigga, man. Oh man, look at that, man. Look at this cat.
Oh, Ice-T, stop it. He always makes fun of Silker Johnson. That whole calling up and telling on a nigga when it's cheating, that was me. And Ice-T did that to me and destroyed what little family unit I had put together.
But that's what got you in the game, player. From that point on, you knew that hating was the way to go, baby.
I've been hateful ever since.
Yeah.
I wish you ill, Ice-T.
That's right. That's some international top shelf hating there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do some hating tonight, because none of these niggas can't dress, really. Everybody's broke, really. I hate all the rappers. I hate all the actors. I hate all the people on television. I hate niggas with cars. I hate niggas with shoes. I hate the air. I hate the air, man. A real hater hates the... Here come this nigga Silky again, man. What do you want, man?
He's a hating Hall of Famer. I've never seen a more hateful man than Ice-T.
Man.
Second only to myself.
Yeah.
Ever since Dawn the Bishop Magic Wand stole my identity and made himself famous.
Oh, that's hateful, right?
Now he hangs out with Snoop Doggy Dogg and lives in the lap of luxury.
We got to stop that too, Silky.
We are going to put a stop to all that tonight at the ball.
We got to stop.
So they made a whole joke about how black people are filled with hate and hate each other. But that spirit that we just witnessed is amongst Israelite camps today. Can I get a witness to that? Yes, sir. All right. I don't want nobody up in here sleeping. Some of y'all be delirious thinking it's all love and it's all good, and it's not. It's not. From there, give me Acts 23 and verse 12. Acts 23.
Ella, can I read one scripture before you move on?
Go ahead.
Go to 1 John 3 and 13. Going with the same point that the elder bringing out. Because amongst us right now in Israel is brothers that they have hatred for other brothers. You got this camp, hate this camp. You understand? And as we brought out early on, is because of what? Because they're seeing one group doing things that they know they're supposed to be doing and they ain't doing. You understand? And that's where that envy and hatred come from. But read that.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you.
That's what you all got to understand. Don't marvel when you see the hatred coming from the world and even from your fellow brothers. Don't marvel. Don't be amazed or surprised. Why is this happening? I know a lot of you all get amazed when you all see the hatred coming, but we already know that's what the scripture says is going to happen. Read on.
Verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
Because we what?
Because we love the brethren.
And that's what these brothers don't have. They don't have the love for the brethren. Read on.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
So, and that's what these brothers abiding in. They are abiding in death. For you to go on YouTube and speak evil of any man, you understand? That's hatred.
Without proof.
Without proof, without talking to that man, without proof, that's hatred. And guess what? You all will never see nobody in IUIC do that. You all have never seen no one in IUIC get on YouTube and speak evil of no camp. You all never see that and will never see it. Why? Because we got love for the brethren. Don't matter how much hatred and evil you all speak about us, we'll never, ever, not one time we're going to do that. Because we understand what Christ and following Christ is about. But read on.
Verse 15.
Read it again. You left something. Read it again.
Verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life.
Go ahead.
Because we love the brethren.
Okay. When he said we love the brethren, meaning that if we see other Israelite camp in the mix of sin, our class, we're going to bring it out. But we're not going to speak evil of that man. We're going to bring what the scripture said. That's showing you the love of brethren. But the hatred of brethren, there is no proof. You're just talking out of your own mind, your own understanding. That's hatred of brethren. Go ahead, Malaka.
All right, so read verse 15.
Verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
So all these brothers you see out there on YouTube, on social networks, spewing all that hate, guess what? They all is murderers, man. And they don't have eternal life abiding in them.
They didn't get that. Read that again. That just slid past all those biscuits. They didn't read. They didn't catch what you just said. My ears popped. And I know the scripture. Read it again. Read that last piece again.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
That's clear. That's a clear scripture. There's nothing you can get out of that but what it says.
Right. So when these Israelite camps call themselves killers, that's exactly what they are, killers. Also, when you read verse 12, because a lot of times these Israelite camps that are so holy and use the name like 80 million times because they're so holy while they hate their brothers. Notice that they spend most of their time, if not, 20, maybe 20, 15 years, cursing out the white man. The white man's a devil. White man's a devil. That same vicious circle. But they act worse than the devil. In fact, Esau is a reflection of niggas. That's what he is. That's what the Most High used him to put niggas in check. Because niggas are a reflection. It's the same thing. Esau is a reflection of a wicked Negro. He's a reflection of him. That's what he is. That's why the Most High used him to keep niggas in order. He used evil to keep evil in order. And you use good to keep good in order. Get verse 12, please. Because the first wicked murderer in the beginning was not Esau. Read verse 12, please.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
So the first murderer was a Negro. Was a black man. That's the first murderer recorded in history was Cain. Then let's fast forward. Then you have Saul and David. Try to kill David numerous times. Then you had the Pharisees in Christ. Try to kill him numerous times. Then they try to kill the disciples numerous. They killed James, brother of John. So the vicious cycle continues even till now. The worst thing, and it's my opinion, the worst thing second to the white man is a wicked Negro. If you put the power of the white man in the Negro's hands, this earth won't last 5 minutes. This earth won't last 5 minutes if you put the power of Esau in the power of a Negro's hand. Just one thing. Give me Sirach real quick, 21 verse 27, about Jake spending their time cursing out Esau. Esau's the devil. Esau is Satan, but they hate their brother with a passion. It boggles the mind to me. I'm baffled by that one. Sirach 21 verse 27.
Sirach 21 verse 27.
Let's see what the prophets call wicked Negroes. Watch this.
When the ungodly curseth Satan.
When the ungodly are in the streets curse up the white man, he's corrupt, he's wicked, he's a devil, he's killing our people. When the ungodly who hate God's laws and hate their brother, that's the ungodly, curseth Satan, there's a capital S here. Curseth Satan, go ahead.
He curseth his own soul.
He's cursing himself because he's the devil too. That's what the Bible says. So don't fall for that. Don't fall for that stuff. It's all pretense.
Exactly.
Keep harping on that. It's pretense.
Now that's a heavy verse you just pulled. But I want to see who understands it. When you brothers raise your hand if you understand. When the ungodly curses Satan, he curses his own soul. How? Give me an example. I want someone to give me an example. In the back, somebody's hand was semi up. He was not sure. I see a pen in his hand on my left.
When we go around and rally that the white man killed our people, but our people kill each other.
Oh, very good. We will stand up and condemn the white man for killing black people. But then black people kill more black people than a little bit. Everybody goes, shh, Chirac, 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 Chirac. Then we'll say the white man raped our mothers, our daughters, our sisters. He destroyed them. But then that same black man will have sex with all kinds of women, leave a baby right there, won't take care of them. You men understand that? Read that again in Sirach.
Verse 27. When the ungodly curseth Satan.
The white man's no good. He kills black people. He raped black women.
He curseth his own soul.
I kill black people too. Shoot. I rape or I have sex with all these black women, leave the babies around, and take care of that one. You're cursing your own. Read the whole verse so I get the thought right.
When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul.
You curse your own soul. You men understand that? Okay, I need to know you men understand.
Yeah, Bishop, I give you one. The movement they call Black Lives Matter by a few lesbians. How they can look within themselves, then they talk about Black Lives Matter. There you go, you destroyed the population when God said, go up there and multiply. You are murder yourself, but there you go, you talking about Black Lives Matter, a bunch of lesbians.
There you go. Give me Acts 23. Acts 23, let me get through it, 12 through 15.
The book of Acts, chapter 23 and verse 12. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse.
Listen good, brothers, listen good.
Saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul.
Look how wicked these Israelites were. They bound themselves under a curse not to eat or drink, to always fast until they have killed Paul. Watch this.
These were Israelites.
And these were Israelites. Go ahead.
Did y'all get that?
Yes, these were Israelites. Watch this.
And they were more than 40, which had made this conspiracy.
This was a gang of niggas. Go ahead.
And they came to the chief priests and elders.
So the chief priests and elders of Israel was in cahoots with this thing. Go ahead.
And said, we have bound ourselves under a great curse, that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul.
Let me tell you something. There's so much evil amongst these are Israelites in the know. Israelites that can break down Deuteronomy 28 front and back and forth again.
The meat scriptures.
All the meats, yeah. They know all this great stuff. Don't think this can't happen again. From there, give me Mark 15, 9 through 11.
Mark chapter 15 and verse 9. But Pilate answered them, saying, Will ye that I release unto you the King of the Jews? For he knew that the chief priests had delivered him for envy. But the chief priests moved the people.
You see why? You see why they delivered Christ? What's the word, brothers? Envy. Envy. All goes back to the beginning of the lesson about hatred. Read it again.
But Pilate answered them, saying, Will ye that I release unto you the King of the Jews? For he knew that the chief priests had delivered him for envy. But the chief priests moved the people, that he should rather release Barabbas unto them.
You see what these chief priests did? They got in the heads of all the people against Christ. Release Barabbas. We don't want that Christ fellow to be released. Got in the heads and the minds of the men and the women that were around. That same spirit, brothers, is in Israel today. Listen good to what I'm saying so you don't be in la-la land. Be caught out there.
Yeah, wake up, brothers. Wake up.
And listen good. You might say to yourself, well, some Israelite camps don't say nothing. To say nothing against evil is you are in agreement with it. What does Leviticus chapter 5? Can we get that? Can we get that? For the Israelites that see the wickedness and stay silent on it. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not involved in this.
Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he hath seen or known of it, If he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
You know what that means? That the same judgment that comes forth is going to go on that quiet Israelite. That Israelite, I'm not going to say nothing. It has nothing to do with me. God's going to hold you accountable. Because you got camps out there that say, well, I'm not in this thing. You ain't got to do no videos or nothing. But when somebody puts somebody's address up on a website speaking evil, you know what that's about. Don't be stupid.
What is that? Look, 'cause maybe you got to bring it on home for him. We read the word malice, did we not? Malicious. What other reason would you do that if there was not malicious intent behind it? What other reason would... I'm going to put his address up there because I want him to repent? No. I put his address up there because I'm trying to correct him? No. I put his address up there because I want harm to come to him.
That's right.
That's the point. Don't be fooled by these evil, wicked niggas called Israelites. Don't be fooled by that.
That's why I scorn when I hear somebody say Yahweh. As soon as I hear it, I know the spirit of evil is there. I've not seen one righteous man use that term. Not one. Every one of them, evil, malice, guile, gossip. Every last one of them. Okay? Give me Acts 13. I'm going to take it down a notch. I know. Acts 13, 44 and 45.
The book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 44. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of God. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy.
The Jews was filled with what when they saw people following the apostles?
Envy.
Envy. Go ahead.
And spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming.
Now we see this. We will go over lessons on marriage.
There you go.
Go over lessons. Young men come in. Teach me how to be a husband. Teach me how to be a father. And we give you the word of God. And the other Israelites sitting on the side. Mad. Yo, Ak. Yahweh Hashem. Yahweh Shai. Ak. I'm going to get yo, Ak. And then blaspheme everything that comes out of the scriptures. You've got to be kidding me. Telling young men, no, you don't have to get married. You can have sex with a woman. That's good enough. Why they do that? So that you can have sex with them and leave the woman on the side of the curb. Now, I'm not saying that speaking Hebrew is evil. I'm not saying that at all. I am just saying there is a pattern behind that. That's all I'm saying. Because I reckon some brothers use it. I ain't got a problem with it. Okay, but come with righteousness. Come with the word of the Most High. Okay? Read that again. I forgot my thought.
Verse 45. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul.
Right, this is the doctrine. So when we come out with this is what the scriptures teach, they speak against A, B, C, D, anything that disrupts their sinful little life. You may understand what I'm saying? Give me Acts 17:5. And believe me, brothers, it will come to this, okay? We go out, where was we? We was in, I think, Nassau. The little Israelite brother, I forgot. He go, oh, he's standing in front of, oh, we don't teach that. We teach Rufus Israel. I said, well, brother, we don't teach that. You can go down the block and teach that. Well, we teach the Syrophoenician Israel too. We don't teach that, brother. You could go down the block and teach that. What else he say they teach?
That's it. That's all he said.
I thought it was something.
And then he started speaking about the fringes.
Right, you got to wear fringes all the time. Brother, we don't teach that. You can go down the block and teach down there. But they always look for where the light is. They said, he said to us, how come people is gathering around y'all when you teach? We've been out here for a couple of years. Nobody listens to us. I said, well, brother, you got to look within. Look within yourself. He says, well, maybe it's because y'all got a mic. Yeah. I said, okay, well, you buy yourself a microphone and go set up down there and teach.
Y'all are laughing, but the Negroites have said such things.
Exactly. Where we at?
You said Acts 17 and verse 5.
Yes.
But the Jews which believed not.
The Jews which believed not. Keyword, brothers, not. Go ahead.
Moved with envy.
But they were moved with what?
Envy.
Envy. They were jealous over the apostles' teaching. How the multitudes was coming to them. How the men and the women drew to that spirit. Those Jews was envious and mad. They didn't believe. Go ahead.
Took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort, and gathered a company, and set all the city on an uproar.
Notice what they was doing. They didn't believe. It wasn't good enough they didn't believe. They got lewd fellows. That means base niggas.
Low niggas.
Low life Negroes.
Grimy.
and said, let's gather everybody against those apostles' teaching. It happened then, brothers. It's going to happen today.
If you put somebody's address up on a website, who do you want to see it? Grimy, low down, no good niggas.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And gathered a company and set all the city on an uproar and assaulted the house of Jason.
That's why you put somebody's address up. And assaulted what?
The house of Jason, and sought to bring them out to the people.
That's what they wanted to have them all stoned. Gathered, took Jason's whole family, dragged them out because Jason was working with the apostle, working with Paul and them. They said, we got to kill him. Let's stone them. And that's what they did, stoned them. So don't think that this won't happen today. You're getting a glimpse on the internet. Right now it's just words, brothers, just words. Watch where it escalates to. Envy holds no bars. When somebody is jealous over the spirit of God within you, and they ain't got that spirit, and they boast that they got it, they will kill you.
That's a dangerous Negro.
They will go do all things to kill you.
When you read out the scriptures, you got 40 men that took a oath to not eat anything that they have slain the apostle Paul.
Exactly.
That is that's some serious level of evil there.
Exactly.
But you notice that they went to the high priest. Then the high priest did not correct them.
Right.
You understand?
They were all wicked
that's
as hell.
something Bishop's saying about the other camps.
Right, exactly.
When you
Nobody's
heard
saying
evil,
anything.
you're supposed to check the evil.
Exactly.
But that shows you how deep that shows you how grievous that spirit is.
Get
That
wisdom of
spirit of
Solomon.
evil and envy and covetousness. Don't leave that one out.
You're right. Absolutely
Covetousness. Don't leave that out.
right. Exactly.
I want what I can't have.
Then wait. You just hit me with something. Let me make sure I might jump the gun. Just remind me about counting people. Remind me about that. Wisdom of Solomon 6. You said covetous. I just gotta say it. These certain men, Israelites, borders of blue, pause. I've seen brothers have sent me the videos. They pause our video like now. They'll pause this shot right here and count everybody in the room, and then ask, how much does the T-shirt cost? And get a calculator and try to figure out how much money comes in to this camp. And then say,
Y'all laughing.
I am Daddy Warbucks, making merch and living fat, not realizing how ignorant they are that the money is used for the people. Somebody's short in their rent, we help you. Somebody when families have lost their children, who put petitions together and went to the courts to help get their kids? We do that. Gonna tell us we use the money we get so I can live fat. Wicked Negroes.
And we all have jobs.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna take it a notch down. I'm sorry.
You said Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6.
And verse 22
verse 22.
to 25.
As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with consuming envy.
Wisdom will not go with consuming envy. Envy is a consuming spirit. If you ever notice, the best thing you can look at, you can see it mostly with women.
There you go.
When one woman is envious over another woman, watch how that spirit consumes her. And you see women fight in the street, pulling each other's hair out, trying to scratch her face so that she won't look the way she looked no more. Y'all brothers ain't never see that? Envy is a consuming spirit. So likewise, this is going in context with the word of God now. Like what we read about those wicked scribes, Pharisees, and the high priests, those men that took oaths not to eat till they have killed Paul.
That is something.
Envy is a consuming spirit, okay? Why can't I be where they're at? Why can't I be like them? I don't want to be like them. I'm rough. I'm tough. I'm a killer. Brother, you ain't no killer. Brothers, let me tell you. I'll tell you something.
Hey, Elder, what it is, a lot of these brothers, they got that gangster street mentality, and they gotta evolve beyond that.
Yes.
You know, when you look at a lot of these camps, a lot of them got that gangster street mentality, and that's why they're stagnant, and that's why they stay on the same level they is. Because everybody that's played out, that's old. You understand? That's in the time of the Panther. Right. You understand? Right now, you gotta evolve. You gotta grow to another level.
It's not
You
even-
understand? Anybody, ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody scared up inside IUIC. The men of them up in here is not no weak men, but we ain't gotta act gangster and talk street to show that. You understand? We ain't gotta do that.
Men of wisdom never have to act like a beast, because they know how to apply the scriptures. When you're destitute of knowledge, then you have to try to act like you're something, act like you're some tough lion wolf, this and that and the other, and you can't even keep your house in order.
And you know what's funny? Now, I'm such a coward. I'm thinking, oh, he's a coward. I sit down with killers and talk with real killers. And a lot of times, real killers break down when they realize they got caught and busted. You see the come out, right? I can't call my mama. I'll confess. Let me call my mama first. Here's the phone, brother. You a big killer. You rough, brother. All that muscles and fat all over the place. Don't get impressed by that.
And Bishop,
Yes.
real killers don't announce they killers. Okay? When you hear a nigga announcing he's a killer, that's the weakest nigga in the crew.
Hey, say that
Because
again.
real niggas don't talk about what they do.
'Cause other
when you
people will
gotta
tell you.
announce before everybody you a killer, you soft.
Hey, I'm gonna help what you just
Okay.
said, because when you're a killer, other people will tell you that that man, that's a killer.
That's right.
You never have to announce that. They said that dude up there, he
Hey,
will kill you.
it's like they used to say in the hood, ask about me.
That's it.
Okay, you don't go around announcing you a killer. And another thing, any black man that's announcing he's a killer, who is he announcing he's gonna kill? Is it ever the other nations? You don't hear Chinese people announcing I'm a killer. You don't hear the white man announcing I'm a killer. You don't hear Filipinos announcing that. The only nigga that announced that he's a killer is a nigga who will kill another black man. Okay? That's a idiotic black mentality. Because who have you killed to prove that you are who you say you are? You weak.
Hey, let
You
me
just
read-
running your mouth to get people to think that you stand for something and you don't know nothing.
Exactly.
So you run your mouth.
Exactly. Isaac, what verse you was at? Verse 23 again?
Verse 23. Neither will I go with consuming envy.
So, brothers, if you're envious of another brother, like in here, I talk about up in here, some of you brothers grasp understanding of scriptures better than others. That's a good thing. That's nothing to be envious. Hey, brother, how you do that? Sometimes it's due to a spirit, just being on the brother. Sometimes it's intense studying. You got to know how you fit in. Not to hate a brother and try to tear him down. Never roll with that spirit, because you will never get the spirit of God in you if you roll like that.
And Christ tells you about that. He said that we're to trade the talents. That's where all that comes in at.
Exactly.
You're supposed to learn from each other, not try to tear each other's down. Them
Exactly.
damn crabs in a barrel, Negroes make me sick.
When you read about Christ, he was an austere man. What did he say that made him austere? He didn't say nothing. It's how he carried himself. He wasn't, yeah, yo, I'm a savior. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yo, I kill niggas, yo. He didn't talk like that. That's a dumb nigga
Hey.
spirit. He didn't act like that.
And not only that, he was the most dangerous man to walk the face
Right.
of the earth. He ain't run his mouth like that. His actions, his deeds, the way he dealt with the people preceded him. That's why the people loved him. You don't read about none of our forefathers walking around about how many people they killed. Okay, when you look at King David, he has so much blood on his hands. The Most High said, you can't build my house. Okay, so use wisdom. These niggas don't know the scriptures.
Hey, David was a killer.
And David was a killer.
Was a killer.
And the Most High said, you cannot build my house. So the Most High is not, he said he don't take pleasure in killing. So anytime you hear a weak camp bragging about that they killers, look at them for what they are. They soft.
Exactly. Read that again, Captain. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom.
Y'all see this? For such a man will have no fellowship with wisdom. So any brother up in here or online, if you're battling with the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of envy, you women too, God will not walk with you. The spirit of the Lord will not enter your spirit. Go ahead.
Verse 24. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and the wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good.
So we've come from a long way. We've come from 3 brothers, myself, Bishop Kanai, another brother, and we've grown. Look how we've grown. And that's no. That's nothing for me or these brothers. That's the spirit of the Most High God who comes through us and draws the people. It's nothing to brag about or nothing like that. It is the spirit that the Lord is dealing with. Give me Romans 11:28. So you may think, well, brother, let me ask you this. Do you hate those brothers that deal with you like so? Do you hate those men? No, we don't hate those brothers. But we see those brothers. Watch what Paul said about those men.
Romans chapter 11, verse 28. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes.
The wicked Israelites who blaspheme the word of God, who contradict and threaten, they're enemies to the gospel. The good news that we preach, which is repentance for the house of Israel, they are enemies to this gospel. Go ahead.
But as touching the election,
they
are beloved for the Father's sake.
Those men are still beloved for the Father's sake. Why? Because they're Israelites. And just like Paul repented of his blaspheming, just like Paul repented of his murders and imprisoning of people, that same goes for those men. The same goes for all of us. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir. All right. Good, good. From there, Mark 9:38. I think we read this earlier. Did we read Mark 9 earlier?
Yeah, but read it again. It was good.
Yeah, read that again. Mark 9:38-40.
Mark 9 and verse 38. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us. And we forbade him, because he followeth not us. But Jesus said, Forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name, that can lightly speak evil of me.
Get Isaiah 52:8.
Hold on, Bishop. Go back to the scripture you just finished reading.
Verse 39. But Jesus said, Forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name.
Stop right there. What Christ acknowledged? The acknowledgement Christ acknowledged. These men who came to Christ acknowledged something. Something was going down in the spirit world that Christ catch it. What was it? Go ahead. Give the brother here a mic.
That still the miracle had to go through him.
The envy.
Oh, that, okay.
The envy. Moses catch it when Joshua came to Moses and tell Moses that I see many Israel prophets prophesying in the camp. Moses said, I wish all Israel can be a prophet. You understand? For my sake. That's what Christ catch. Because for those men to come to Christ, say, I see men do it. Christ catch that spirit of envy from a mile away. Hey, no. If they're not against me, they're for me. You understand? Christ acknowledged that thing from a mile away. Your guys have to catch it. On YouTube and every website you're looking at, the spirit of envy is well alive.
Exactly. Isaiah 52:8. Y'all, so you want to bring something out? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Give me the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20.
First John chapter 4, verse 20.
And 21.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
You ain't not witnessing that on YouTube at all. Read it again.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
Now, have we exhibited hate towards any camp? I can't hear you. Go ahead, read it again.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
Have we put anybody's business out there for them to go look addresses and all that and try to mess them up on their jobs and all that? Have we done any of that? Have others done it to us? Absolutely. Read it again. I'm showing you the nigga right here in the scriptures.
If a
read
man
it again.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
Have they exhibited hate towards their brothers? I can't hear you. Read it again.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
So do they love God? Hell no. So what? Yahweh Ba Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatha, all that. What that mean? Nothing.
Yes,
read it again.
If a man
I'm gonna give it to you, Bishop.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
How could he say he loved the Most High, who he have not seen? He don't even know who he's offending.
Yep.
You don't know who's among us. That's the reason why we don't speak evil of no man, because we don't know where the Most High putting his spirit at. We don't do that. We're just letting the scriptures, let the prophecies play out.
Then you notice that when you get to IUIC, we bring in scriptures to heal these people. You notice that on YouTube, all that speak is 1, 2 scripture, just talk to talk. You're actually trying to deceive the people. But if we love our brethren, they're in the mix of 2, 3 wives, what we do? We bring scriptures if a man desire to have one wife, right? That's the love we show among them. But when they're short, instead of we turn the law back to us, if we're in error, bring scripture to show us where we're in error at. Then we can reason. But not your big mouth. Then you trying to, we all wise here. You're not dealing with simple men here. Talk about your words, trying to find out what the man's job is. You thinking you're going to deceive us. You ain't going to deceive us. You're just going to deceive the simple one.
What did Christ mean when he said, because this right here goes along with what Christ said, think not that the world hate you, they hate me because I'm in you. Give me that real quick. Because that's what we just read here in John. Here's a man going to say that he loved God, but yet he hate his brother. What the hell is he talking about?
Get James 3, please. James chapter 3 and verse 14. Watch this.
James chapter 3 and verse 14.
Start at 13.
13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Every Israelite says they are wise. You will never find one Israelite that says they are not wise. Read.
Let him shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
So to acknowledge, find out who is wise, one of the first things it says, let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. You don't see that amongst many of these other camps. Read.
But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts.
If you have bitter envying, there's that word again, envying and strife in your hearts. Go ahead.
Glory not.
Glory not.
And lie not against the truth.
This is how you know if somebody has bitter envying and strife. If somebody's speaking against something that was done, then they bring up out of the midst the doctrine of what we teach, meaning one wife. They'll let you know that there's something else underlying. Do you know what I'm talking about, brothers?
Yes, sir. An underlining hate.
There's an underlying hate. There's a root to the hate.
Behind it.
Exactly. Everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Read on.
Verse 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above.
Because somebody says, I'm only saying this because I love black people. I love all black people. And I don't love these Israelites because they wicked, because they teach one wife. And that one wife thing, and you women get them. Ding, 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 ding. There it go right there.
That's the root of the evil.
There it goes.
All it's showing is that what we're saying is messing with their program. Okay? Because if we had no effect, they wouldn't bring it up. If we was nobodies, they wouldn't mention it. They'll make videos. I don't even watch their stuff. I never watched it. So-and-so sent it to me. But when you realize that they get the moment to strike, everything comes out. That's been building up all that time. And you see just how much they watch.
Exactly.
Don't act like you don't watch. The world is watching.
That's right.
Because you was nothing before we stepped up. Just like I told you, Deacon Yawasop, before we came, you was nothing. And while we're here now, you still going to be nothing. No matter how much leeway you think you got, no matter what you think you got on us, you're going to still be nothing. You're going to be behind us and under us.
Hey, when this egg blow up in their face, they're going to be less than nothing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Read on.
Verse 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
And that word sensual breaks down to emotional. Very emotional. You hear it coming out. Read on. The hatred. Go ahead.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. That's when you don't hear scriptures being brought or taught no more. And our teaching about IUIC, one scripture comes out for 60 minutes. Are you kidding me? One scripture in 60 minutes? That's an hour, bruh. And you are a teacher of God? You are endowed with wisdom? Surely you're insane. I'm in the twilight zone somewhere. Read on.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work.
Come on.
But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy.
Without partiality and without hypocrisy. There was a brother who was accused of being a rapist. The brother cried to us, wept and mourned. We said, brother, you in this truth. Don't worry about what people are saying about you. Forget about it. It's going nowhere. Do you know the same brother now stood up on video saying that was raping women, all kind of evil speaking against us, meaning every bit of lies that comes out against IUIC. Now he's on videos joining with it. And I'm like, this is the same man who we shielded from evil speech. Now read the bottom part again.
Without partiality and without hypocrisy.
We should do things without partiality and without hypocrisy. We get emails about certain brothers here in New York, across the state, and we say, hey, brother, somebody said this about you. We ain't running with it, though, okay? That's how we get down. We're not going to take the word of somebody out there, okay? We're not going to take their word for it, okay? We'll ask you. You tell us no, then it's no. That ain't true. All right, forget about it. It's done. But here, just to let you know, this is what was said. We got your back, brothers, come hell or high water. Long as we know you in these commandments, we stand by you. That's how we get down. That's how the scriptures teach us to get down. You may understand that? Yes, sir. From there, give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10 and 8.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10 and verse 8. For regarding not wisdom, they gat not only this hurt.
Verse 8. For regarding not wisdom. So let's talk about the wickedness of man. Regarding not wisdom, they gat not only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good. So a wicked man does not know the things which are good. Read.
But also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness.
They will leave behind them a memorial of foolishness. Come on.
So that in the things wherein they offended, they could not so much as be hid.
The things that they offended, and they couldn't even hide it no more. Read.
But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her.
Y'all see that? But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. So when we come into this truth and deal with the spirit of wisdom, it delivers us from the pain that we would have received before. Go ahead.
When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
But it says when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath. Now it's going into when Jacob fled from Esau. Go ahead.
She guided him in right paths.
She guided Jacob in right paths. Go ahead.
Showed him the kingdom of God.
Showed Jacob the kingdom of God.
And gave him knowledge of holy things.
And gave Jacob knowledge of holy things. Go ahead.
Made him rich in
wisdom made him rich
in his travails.
And his travails.
And multiplied the fruit of his labors.
This is how we trying to roll, brothers. We trying to roll like our forefather Jacob. That the things he received, we want to receive them as well. From there, get me Matthew 7, 15 to 20. They said that I was worse than Darren Wilson, that I'm going around not only locking up black people, but killing black people. I said, wow, I must be a bad mother. And the Most High is dealing with me? It's okay. That's something else, huh? Something's a contradiction in there. But Matthew 7, 15, please.
Matthew 7, verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
The sheep's clothing is borders of blue and fringes. Go ahead.
But inwardly, they are ravening wolves.
But inwardly, they're ravening wolves. So you got to ask us, well, how, if a brother got fringes and a border of blue, that's sheep's clothing. All Israelites do that. So how would we know if he's a false prophet, a ravening wolf? Go ahead.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
You shall know them by their fruits. Hold on. Let's see what the hold at. Get me Jeremiah 17:10. We coming right back here. Don't leave Matthew 7. We coming right back there. Put your finger there. What is it mean by fruits? And not what Jonah said earlier.
Jeremiah 17, verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
Y'all see that? The fruit of his doing. Now get me Galatians 5. What is it? 1920 somewhere? Give me that. These are the fruits.
But the fruit of the Spirit.
But the fruit of the Spirit, this is the fruits that we all must bear. Go ahead.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
Joy. Love, which y'all know is what? Love is what, brothers? Keeping of the commandments. Correct. Read.
Joy. Peace.
Wait. Joy. Right. No. My point is this. Because some Israelites said we're not supposed to be joyful on Passover. We're supposed to cry on Passover. Do you realize Passover was deliverance from slavery? What? That's not a time for... We're going to be going, wow! We're going to be dancing like David danced, pants falling off us. I'm telling you, we're going to be, oh, happy day. The hell is this? We're going to be scared at the same time because we see nations getting killed around us, but we're going to be happy. Read that again about that joy.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering.
You see that peace? There's to be peace amongst Israel. But if you don't have the fruit of the Spirit, there's no peace there. You can't spell peace. Go ahead.
Gentleness.
Gentleness, come on.
Goodness.
Goodness.
Faith.
Faith.
Meekness.
Meekness.
Temperance.
Temperance.
Against such there is no law.
Against such there's no condemn. You can't come against brothers who and sisters who got those spirits in them. Now let's go back to Matthew 7 and 15. I think it was 16.
Yep, verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
See what Christ said? You shall know them by their fruits. You want to know a false prophet? A ravening wolf? Know them by their fruits. Do they have the fruit of the Spirit? Go ahead.
Do men gather grapes of thorns?
Do you gather grapes from a thorn bush? Christ asked. Go ahead.
Or fig?
Do you gather figs from a thistle bush? Go ahead.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
Every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Go ahead.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. That's swearing. That's threatening. That is lying, bearing false witness, covetousness, envy. You better understand that. In Galatians 5, it calls it the works of the flesh. Everybody with me so far? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So I'm driving around just locking black people up, just killing black people. Are you kidding me? From 2003 till now, do you brothers and sisters see how the good works have been done? I can't hear you. Then I'm talking about I'm just driving, doing all kind of secret, wicked, evil, locking black people up for no reason. And killing them too. You've got to be insane to believe that.
And that's
Bishop,
according to white man's paperwork.
Notice it came from an article white people wrote and handed to them.
Exactly.
Use your brains. An article white people wrote and handed to them. They didn't call nobody and ask, is it true or what is it? They said, we got them. Now we can shut them niggas up because they messing up that we trying to use these women like hoes. We whoring these women. And they're the only ones that's using the commandments to explain to the woman that there's a way they should be treated according to the scriptures. So now we finally have something, our bone that the white man gave us.
That's right.
But yet they don't believe in his paperwork with marriage and the rest of it. But yet they believe the article.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't see the hypocrisy in that? The same men that say they're against the white man's paperwork, the white man give them an article, they run with it like a rabid dog. Run with it. Give Matthew 12, please. 33. And after this is a done deal. We're going to leave it alone.
We're going to leave you right back where you was, behind us.
Exactly.
Behind us.
Matthew 12, 33 to 37.
Matthew 12 and verse 33. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things?
It's hard for a viper to speak good things. Go ahead.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
Brothers, sisters, whatever's within you, in your spirit, is going to come out your mouth. If you're dealing with hatred, envy, or even lust, adultery, in your conversation, it's going to come out. It's going to be manifest. It's going to come.
Absolutely.
And we've seen it time and time again. Read on.
A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by the words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
That goes for all of us. So that's why we try to be responsible with our words.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you won't get mad and slip now and then, might drop a bomb in your mouth in your speech, but you can correct that. You can fix that. Everybody understand what I'm saying? But when you are reckless in your speech.
On purpose.
This is what Christ is dealing with. This is what he's talking about. Okay. Get me Leviticus chapter 19. There's a law that Israelite camps refuse to abide in. Leviticus 19, 17, is it 17, 18? This law is the law that Christ said there are two great commandments. The first, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And the second is like unto it, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That second one right there, black men, Israelite men have trouble. They battle, they struggle with that thing. But in IUIC, in our camp, in here, that's what we teach. That's what we try our best to live by. Read that, Captain.
Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
So read it again one more time. I'm going to touch on a few things. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So that's the root of it. Don't hate. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
When it says rebuke your neighbor, the way you rebuke your neighbor is, who knows? Before I give the answer, what is the first step in rebuke? Rebuke means correcting. What is the first step in correcting your neighbor? The first step. Nobody knows. 2, 3, 4. Okay. I heard you in the center right here. Yes, you. What is the first step in correcting your neighbor?
Shalom. You and him alone.
Where will we read about that?
Matthew 18.
Very good. Matthew 18. Christ gave us this. Can you read that for us, Cap? If you didn't know this, now you know. This is the first step that black and Latin men have to learn to apply. Once we can overcome this hurdle, there will be no more Bloods and Crips. There will be no more Neta. There will be no more MS-613. There will be no more Latin Kings. We have to learn these laws. Come on.
Matthew 18:15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Captain, did it say make a video?
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Come on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
And if he hears you, brother, you've gained him. He says, okay, you right. I did say A, B, and C against you. I apologize, brother. You've gained me now. Go ahead.
But if he will not hear thee.
But if he don't want to hear you.
Then take with thee 1 or 2 more.
You get 2 witnesses, 1 or 2 witnesses. Why? Because it'll be the he said, she said. The witnesses shut down the he said, she said, because they can verify what both parties said. Read.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Come on.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Now, if he still don't want to hear you, know you wrong, I disagree. Then you bring it before the body. And that body particularly means that leadership. Go ahead.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
Meaning you put him out until he's ready to get, you throw him or her out until he or she is ready to get their life in order. Go back to where you was at now. Leviticus 19.
Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So rebuke means correcting. That first begins with going 1-on-1. Go ahead.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Avenging and bearing grudges. Well, 15 years ago, you did such and such to me. 25 years ago? Are you kidding me? God says don't deal like that. That's called a grudge. Right, there are many days of atonement have come and gone. You don't believe the Bible, brother.
That's the answer.
That's it.
That's
you
it.
say you
Just
keep the
call
Day
it
of
straight.
Atonement, but yet you still hear 5 years ago you said this. 10 years ago you did that. These are the conversations you hear Israelite camps say. Was that it, Captain?
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That's what Christ said about the 2 great commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. He was getting it from Leviticus 19. He said, upon those 2 laws hang all the law and the prophets. Everything is balanced on those 2. But black and Latin people, we have not, that little law like this, we can read it very easily, but to apply it is very hard. You can never teach that law too much, okay? You talk about the white man is the devil. How about teach that law to your black brother and black sister? Okay? That will end black on black crime. That law will end divorce in the family. That law alone, through
That
applying
law goes so far. Just imagine if you were the one that somebody was saying something against, and they never came to you. How would you feel?
That law alone will end abortion.
Exactly.
Like you said. That abortion, once the black woman understands that, she said, no, I'm not going to kill this baby.
Exactly.
I'm going to keep this baby. That law alone has volumes, okay? And you're only going to learn the application, understanding of that law here for right now. I ain't seen nobody. Maybe I'm just speaking too bold. I don't know. I really haven't heard any other.
Could you look at the last part of that verse, the last line that you read?
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Okay. So the Most High said, don't do this. Go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So how would you, in the context of what was just read, how would you love your neighbor as you love yourself?
If you don't love yourself, then how are you going to love your neighbor?
You wouldn't want someone to bear a grudge against you, so therefore you would not want to do it against your brother.
Don't hold grudges, and then
Exactly, because you don't want someone to do it against you, so then you would not do it to him.
Yes, sir.
That's what that's saying. That's why I said, thou shalt love. Read that last piece again. I keep forgetting it.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
The way you love yourself is the way you would love your neighbor. So that's what you would expect from your neighbor to do to you. That's the point that you're making.
Treat your neighbor the way you would want to be treated.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
That's what it's saying.
Right. Can you read it again? Because somebody in here might be new and then think, well, your neighbor is the white man. Your neighbor is the Chinese. Read the verse.
Right. Start it off at the top.
Verse
7. Give it the answer.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So it says your brother. Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Your neighbor. Okay.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Let's see who your brother and your neighbor is. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Y'all see that? The children of your people. The children of your people. That's what Moses was talking about. Moses was not telling Israelites to apply that with the Ammonites and the Hittites. We was killing them out of the land. Don't you? When you read, we were killing them out of the land. So why would we apply that to them? God says, kill them and move them out the land, because that land is your land. So that law applies for us. But Christianity has taught us to apply that for all races, and it's not talking about that. Okay? Now, give me the article from Google, the COINTEL, that one. So you may be asking yourself, what does that have to do with today's lesson? It has everything to do with today's lesson. Let me read it for you. COINTELPRO, long-range goals and prevention of a black messiah. What I want y'all to see is that second line. See the second line? It says long-range goals. You know I want y'all to look at that? Because you'll get an idiot who'll go on another site and says, COINTELPRO ended in 1970. No, it did not. It did not. That's why it says long-range goals. Names will change over
Decades.
over a systematic movement. The name will change, but the agenda is the same. Thank you. The agenda is the same.
Bishop.
Yes.
The perfect example is the Ku Klux Klan. They've evolved. Now they got suits, ties, businessmen. Okay, they're not going by that same name. The agenda's still there. They still exist. They're just not going by that name or what they were founded on.
Exactly. So now, COINTELPRO, Counterintelligence Program, that's what it stands for. COINTELPRO stands for Counterintelligence Program. Long-range goals and prevention of a black messiah. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Let's go down. Let me look at it, scroll so I can see. Now, go back up. Go back a little bit. I'm going to read. There's 4 major points. I want you to look at the last one. It says, for maximum effectiveness of the counterintelligence program and to prevent wasted effort, long-range goals are being set. Goal number 1. Now, this is what the FBI said. Prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups. In unity, there is strength. A truism that is no less valid for all its triteness. An effective coalition of black nationalist groups might be the first step toward a real Mau Mau, meaning Black Revolutionary Army, in America, the beginning of a true black revolution. Stop, pause. That's one of the things that they watch for. Did y'all notice the white man took over, a militia group, took over the Federal Reserve Park in Oregon? They allowed them there for 3 weeks, going back and forth to the store. They allowed women to go in and sing for them. Then the question was asked, what if it was black people or Latin people? They said they would be killed immediately. Why? Because of what we're reading here. Now, goal number 2, prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify. Now, they're looking at it here. Listen to what I'm about to say, brothers, in an individual context, like Martin Luther King, like Marcus Garvey, like Malcolm X, people like that. When you read the Bible, how many black messiahs are there going to be? 144,000. Or it's called saviors in the Bible. I know he said one meaning Christ, but we're not talking about Christ, right? We're talking about here on earth. You got me? Okay. Revelation 7 talks about 144,000. That's what the abortion clinics is all about. Many people don't realize the correlation between Moses' time when they put forth the edict to kill all the young boys. They said, we want to kill the black Messiah. When Christ, they said, Messiah's coming again, kill all the boys from 2 and under. You might say, what does that got to do today? It's the same thing with the abortion clinics. The scholars know there's 144,000 coming, they're going to be risen up, 12,000 of each tribe. They said, let's put abortion clinics in every black and Latin neighborhood throughout the Americas. Now you got something called Zika, where South American children heads are not growing.
Yeah, I seen that.
Zika, thank you. Zika, right. All that is set up by your friendly neighborhood white man to prevent, number 2, prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Malcolm X might have been such a Messiah. He is the martyr of the movement today. Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, and Elijah Muhammad all aspire to this position. Elijah Muhammad is less of a threat because of his age. King could be a very real contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to white liberal doctrines. That's why he became a threat when he joined with Malcolm X.
Yep.
He said, I integrated my people into a burning house.
That's
they
when
said,
they said,
kill
okay,
that
now
nigga.
we got to kill him.
Because now it's about to go down. Bam, bam. That's what they did. Okay, let me continue. Nonviolence and embrace black nationalism. Carmichael, which is Stokely Carmichael, has the necessary charisma to be a real threat in this way. Stokely Carmichael went to Africa, changed his name, and he got out of nationalism altogether. Number 3, prevent violence on the part of black nationalist groups like the Black Panthers. This is of a primary importance. So now, what I mentioned about the white militia group that took over the federal park, they would never allow black people to do that today. Because back in the 60s, remember, the Panthers took over
the capital.
The capital, right. They said that's not going to happen no more. Prevent violence on the part of black nationalist groups. This is of primary importance and is, of course, a goal of our investigative activity. It should also be a goal of the counterintelligence program to pinpoint potential troublemakers and neutralize means kill, neutralize them before they exercise their potential for violence. Now, I want you to look at paragraph 4. Paragraph 4 is the main one for today's topic. Prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to 3 separate segments of the community. The goal of discrediting black nationalists must be handled tactily in 3 ways. You must discredit those groups, look what it says. You must discredit those groups and individuals too. First, the responsible Negro community, meaning first you got to discredit them to the blacks that are working.
Yep.
They have some money, so you got to discredit them to that group first. Then it says, where are we at? Second, they must be discredited to the white community, both the responsible community and to liberals. Y'all remember the article by Peter Rue from Vice magazine? Mm-hmm. They said these guys is nothing to worry. Look, they're in a shack. It's run down. Right. They said the leader of them, he smiles and don't trust his smile. All of this foolishness, okay? That's what they did to white liberals. Liberals who...
Y'all getting this? Yes, sir. Okay.
Liberals who have vestiges of sympathy for militant black nationalists simply because they are Negroes. Watch this. Third, these groups must be discredited in the eyes of Negro radicals. So find other radicals who are like them, discredit them. So in this context, Discredit them before other Israelites.
That's the point.
Third, I'm going to read it again. Third, these groups must be discredited in the eyes of Negro radicals, the followers of the movement. This last area requires entirely different tactics from the first two. Publicity, I'm going to say that word again. Publicity about violent tendencies and radical statements merely enhances black nationalists to the last group. It adds respectability in a different way. So they're saying if you put out there that this group is radical and threatening, the more radical ones will like them. So they're saying don't put that out. Go ahead. Come on. 5, a final goal should be to prevent the long-range growth of militant black organizations, especially among youth. Specific tactics to prevent these groups from converting young people must be developed. So, we went through all that to show you. Now, give me the article. This is the article that was put out about me. L and N, Loomer and Neville. Okay, I ain't going to go through it too much because there's a reason I can't go through all of this. Wink, wink. It says L&N recovered $750,000 in malicious prosecution cases. We are happy to report that 2 of our firm's clients, Malik Sanders, Corey Phillips, finally resolved their civil rights claims against the city of New York and NYPD Detective Nathanyel Ben Israel, formerly known as Nathaniel Ray, for a total of $750,000. Now, when you read the article, y'all can read it on your own. There's lies throughout the entire article to get people to go to this law firm. Believe me, this law firm would have gotten nothing without certain things going down. And I'll tell you that sometime from now. But this law firm is BS. It's BS. And there's lies throughout this entire thing. Like one lie, they said I drove around looking, I saw some innocent black men and I grabbed them up and arrested them. That's all a lie. In NYPD, there's something called warrants. There's a warrants unit. There's anti-crime units, okay? That had nothing to do with me, but they put my name in it anyway. So, let's come out of that. Let's go to Titus 3:3. So now, you at home, online, you brothers and sisters up in here, read the articles. If you think I'm running around driving, locking up innocent black people and killing them, you are a fool and cannot read the signs of the times. We told you before when Vice magazine, Peter Rue did an article, that was an assessment.
Threat assessment.
A threat assessment. Let's see how far they've come. Let's see. Let's see their environment, okay? Then they ridiculed us through the whole article. Now this one, okay? And they put my old name and new name, okay? Because the thing took place in 2009 under my old name.
Exactly.
They said, let's put the new name.
So let me ask a question. Why would they do that? Who have enough? Let's see. Who's awake enough to give the answer as to why they would bring up the name? I see Ezekiel got his hand up. All right, let me give you.
Well, they understand that changing your name, they know what goes with that. But so now what they're trying to say is the new man has a stain on them too.
A little deeper than that. Okay. The point is that their mission has nothing to do with what happened with the case or anything like that. Their mission is to taint IUIC. Right. That's the point. That's what you got to say. Because they're like you said, this had nothing to do with whatever that's about. So why would you even attribute? Because once they put in under his name now, what's going to pop up? What's going to pop up? IUIC. So the whole point is to demagogue that.
Exactly. Now you hear people say, "Oh, don't run with white man paperwork." But when that came out, every Israelite and his mama ran with that article. Exactly. I'm sitting back, I'm just laughing. This is going to be the same thing like when they said we was raping women and kidnapping them. Same thing.
Okay, and the only time the Israelite groups reached out to us is to ask us, was it true? Remember that? Brothers from the other camps who act like we don't exist, all of a sudden we getting phone calls. Yo, I just want to know, I'm hearing, I don't believe it, I just want to know if it's true. All you want to do is to be able to rejoice. And like I told the bishop, it's not just these clowns right here, it's all of them. Every single last one of them is going to come together. They all sitting back and they waiting for the right time to show their true colors. It's all of them.
They think it's the right time.
Exactly.
Okay, they think this is the right time. Exactly. But as I said before, keep doing your videos. All you're going to do is send our numbers up.
Exactly. Hey, Deacon H, let me tell you something about the There was remember they started doing the Israelite summits. Now we were invited to the Israelite summit. We sat down and said, let's wait to see what the agenda is before we even put our hand in to join with brothers. Let's see what happens. Sure enough, the first one they had, that near the end, they started getting on brothers who used the name Jesus Christ. And it went into like a 15-minute dog team on brothers that use the English. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So I said, you know what? I said, look at this. I said, this was a setup. We would have went down there and the whole agenda attacked IUIC because they don't say Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. You brothers start thinking like soldiers and warriors. Stop being so black and gullible. Oh, it's brotherhood. It's not always about brotherhood. It's to get you in and destroy you.
And Bishop,
I hope y'all see that.
The other groups say other names.
Right.
They all got other names. It ain't just Yahweh. You got other people saying Ahaya. You got people saying Yehoshua, Yah. You got some other new name that was made up. It wasn't about that.
Right, exactly.
Okay?
they still
It's
call them
nothing but
brothers.
confusion. That's why it says where envy is, it's nothing but confusion. You got a bunch of envious, confused Negroes.
Yeah, you notice that John was the first man who come before Christ and introduced Christ. He also, his name start with a G too. Why they don't go Hebrew on him? Why they only go on Christ Hebrew? Showing you there's confusion.
And y'all don't see no video of us saying you cannot say Yahweh Shai or you cannot say Yahweh. If you want to say it, say it. We don't forbid nobody. There's people in here whose name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, we're not telling them don't say that. We got members here who have that name and we don't tell them don't say that. Okay, but guess what? We ain't joining with you because you say it. You must say that for salvation. Don't confuse the two. Don't let these people twist you up. We're not joining with your doctrine that you must say Yahweh and you must say Yahweh Shai for salvation.
Exactly.
Okay? We don't care who want to say it. Say it.
Right. Let me show you how far love goes, what love does. Remember, well, it's still going on, but a few months ago, there was a whole thing about arresting people who threaten police officers. Y'all remember that in the news? On Facebook and all that? Remember that? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Yes, ASAP. You remember one of the Israelite camps did a video saying we should kill police.
That's right.
He showed it to me. Another brother in the world showed it to me and said, do you want to send this to the police and get them arrested? No, leave it alone. Let God deal with that. That's how far. They don't know what, these knuckleheads don't know how far and what we do behind the scenes. They are reckless. They can get themselves locked up. We said, nope. No, don't send that. Don't leave it alone.
And it was out of us counseling and saying we don't want to make them harm come to them for foolishness that's coming out their mouth. Exactly. If anything, if we wanted to get at them the way they're trying to get at us, that would have been the divine opportunity. But when you put your mind behind it, you said they just a bunch of stupid Negroes, and we don't want no parts in that. It's just like when Shemaiah was cursing King David. And his men said, yo, you want me to go and kill this nigga? And he said, no, 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 no. The Lord may have put the spirit on him to come and curse me. Leave it alone. Don't get involved. And that's the way we move here. We're not coming at nobody to get numbers up or to get members. Because if you look at the video that just went up, they're saying that the leader should step down and people should leave here. And they said, don't go and start your own thing. Come and join us. Because we're the only people that have the truth. That video is for a recruitment drive. That's all it is. It was a recruitment drive to get people to join them because ain't nobody paying no attention to them. They the same place they was before, the same level. They not growing. So the best way is just like in the rap game. When you stepping out, you look at which rappers on top and
That's
you get
the
at
point
them.
that I was thinking about
so
earlier.
you can get an audience.
They're no different from niggas in the world. All right. Go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
You look at them so you can get an audience. So they look, now's the time to step in the ring. We could take them down and at the same time keep praising my leader. Elder Nathanyel, he's the best. I don't know what I do without El. You don't hear none of us talking like that. So in the same breath, while they trying to tear us down, they praising their leader and saying it's the only place we can get saved, so come here. Okay, y'all got to look at the mind games. Those are desperate tactics. Those are people that are desperate. People who the Lord is not working with them. So they sitting back like dogs, waiting for the right time.
And here's the hypocrisy. There's articles online we can put up right now of that same camp being slandered. Numerous websites of them being drug dealers, gang members, saying that they were going to join the KKK to kill black folks. We've read the articles. There's even videos of their wives saying that they're deadbeats, don't take care of their kids, all these things. We sat back and said, that's their camp, let them deal with that. That's their issue. We didn't go, yeah, deadbeats, blah. We didn't run with that. That's none of our business. We didn't let that. We let that ride. That's on y'all. On SPLA website.
Right,
Southern
Southern
Poverty Law.
Poverty, right. They did a whole thing.
Did a whole smear campaign. You guys hate people. You want to kill, and they let them explain themselves.
We read the article.
We read the article.
And we said, let's leave it alone.
Leave
We
it
saw
alone.
another article that was good for the camp where they won a lawsuit. We
Right.
said, hey, all praises to the Most
Put it
High.
on the website.
That shows you the difference between IUIC and these other camps. We're not looking to destroy no other camp. We will praise them when praise is due. They won a lawsuit. All praises to the Most High.
Yep.
We saw dirt on them. We said, leave that alone. Don't run with that. And that's white man wrote that too.
So in regards to the summit, we just real quick, Sirach 37, verse 11, verse 10. Because we don't gather. That's a Christian movement. Or because we're all Israel, let's come together. That's the case. I can go to a Christmas party because Jake is there. My family's there. Family Christmas party, I can go to that. 4th of July, I can go to that too because there's Israel there. That's a Christian vibration. That's all it is. But that's why we don't go to these summits.
That's the Million Man March.
Yep, that's
you
exactly
brought
what
a
it
bunch
is.
of million dumb niggas together for what?
Yep.
Okay, it's no different from the Million Man
Yes,
March.
it's the same
No
thing.
change.
Sirach 37, verse 10.
Sirach 37 verse 10. Consult not with one that suspecteth thee.
Because the summits are made for counseling, getting together, establishing a structure, which hasn't been established yet, obviously. Read again.
Consult not with one that suspecteth
We're
thee.
not going to have a council or a summit with someone that suspects us of selling out, 501c3, Rosicrucians. He did this with his hand. He did this. He picked his nose. Scooby-Doo. That's madness. It's foolishness. We can't counsel with you. Next part.
And hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
And we will not bring our counsel, our understanding, to a summit of men that hate our guts secretly. We ain't going to that because the law says not to do that. Jump down to verse 11, the last part of verse 11, please.
Nor with an hireling for a year, nor with idle servant of much business. Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
We're not going to their summits because they hate our guts. We're not going to take any counsel from them, any correction from them because they're envious and they're wicked. Wicked as hell, and they're hypocrites.
Right. Hey, read Sirach 5 and 12 for me. Because when we read the scripture, right, the scripture says, examine, then judge. You understand? As a leader, you got to examine matter before you bring forth judgment. You know, you can't just see something and run with it. You understand? When somebody do that, it's like they were just waiting for some evil or something. That's what that is. It's the same thing a couple months ago. All over was a big conspiracy all over YouTube. IUIC members rape a woman and all of that.
I'm going to tell you what they said. They said that we raped, kidnapped, murdered, and we had magic school buses that we teleported from one state to the next, and we would conjure up witches to play with
They
his
said
genitals
the
when he
Haitian
slept.
members amongst us. They said the
Haitians,
They hate
right.
Haitians.
And listen, we conjured up wizards to play with his stuff when he was asleep. He told people this. And other camps is like, it's going to stick. Yeah! They ran with it. Like a bunch of retards.
Yeah, that to
Now,
show you the hatred.
man, that's such how far the hatred goes. You believe a magic school bus? Would it be X-Men or a Nightcrawler? These guys are stupid as hell. They ran with it. These idiots ran with that nonsense.
Some people out there looking strange like this can't be. Y'all don't really understand the level that a Negro will go through when he's envious. When a Negro is envious and covetous and evil, they will go to these steps and beyond.
And this is no different. The latest video, those brothers had a little bit of integrity. And if you read the comments, they destroyed it. They destroyed whatever little integrity they have. There were people who used to look at them that something could evolve from them. But because they went that way, they took that L. Because they jumped like the dogs that was behind a car, trying to catch up to the car. So now the people who looked at them, they're like, yo, what's up with these guys?
Hey,
At one point, it looked like they were about something. But now it's showing just how desperate and weak they are.
Right.
Hey, Deacon, they said, they did this. Here they're speaking against white man's paperwork, and they're literally reading it.
Reading the paperwork.
And reading it
the
like
lies.
and believing it. Nobody saw nothing wrong with that?
Hey, read that scripture for me.
And like I said, this is not something that was put in the daily news or made public for everybody. This was handed to them. Because the bum camp came with this first. Y'all know who the bums are. And the bums did a little video. It wasn't going nowhere. So these guys who watched the bums said, we jumping in on this. That's exactly how this evolved. Okay, this time it's going to stick. Okay, the bum camp did it. Nobody pays attention to them. They're irrelevant. They think they're intelligent, but they're irrelevant. So these guys said, look, we're going to use our little bit of credibility we have to push this thing further. Okay, and you're going to watch how the people are going to deal with you. They're going to see you for what you are now.
Hey, and it ain't going to affect us because the Spirit of the Most High is rolling with our UIC. It's not going to affect us. All right, but read that scripture, Isaac.
Sirach 5 and verse 12. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Read on.
Honor and shame is in talk. And
So the scripture say honor and shame is in talk. You understand? Meaning what come from your mouth. All right, what come from your mouth could either bring you shame or it could bring you honor. Read on.
And the tongue of man is his fall.
And the tongue of man is his what?
Is his fall.
And that's what going to be a lot of people fall. You understand? What was fall when he speak all them lies against us. And it came out that he was lying and he was evil. You understand? That was his fall. Read on.
Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue.
So the scripture say, lie not in wait with your tongue. Meaning what? You just there waiting for to hear some evil so you could run and say, you see, IUIC did this, they did that, they wicked. You to spew evil. You understand? The scripture say, lie not in wait for your tongue, with your tongue. Meaning you're lying wait to speak some evil of brothers. And that's what we see happen this week. You know, brothers got something, they ain't examine it, and they just run with it. If you are a leader in Israel, you're supposed to at least contact the other leader in Israel. Listen, we saw this. What's going on? Is Esau attacking you? Is this true or what? You know, but no, brothers just want to run with it because they look at, they say, you know what they say? They say, IUIC too good to be true. Because the comment that I hear was I just know, I was just waiting. I was just waiting to see. Because I know you can't be a cup and be righteous. I was just waiting.
That's exactly. He said they got those garments. They have that audience. They have that crowd. He speaks all powerful and stuff. He speaks, but I just had to wait for the time.
Exactly.
Okay,
So,
you explain how you feel.
so that's why the scripture says, lie not in wait with thy tongue. Because that's what all these scams and them is doing. That have envy and hatred towards IUIC. Because they were lying in wait for some evil so they could run with it. But they ain't going to get no evil. You understand?
I want to ask something to the point that you're making. You was making a point that they could have called, right? And found out. Why is it that they didn't do that? I saw that in one of the comments. I said, wow, this is interesting.
Our phone number's public.
Our phone number's public. Our website, all of that is public. And they was told numerous times, I was looking at the thing, that they could have called and applied Matthew 18. Why they didn't do it? I'm going to see who, because you telling me they never read it? I know they're not that damn dumb. I know they know that scripture's in the Bible. So why they didn't read that? Why they didn't apply that?
Shalom, Deacon.
Shalom.
They did not call because they are just the same as the group that try to spread it. They only keep quiet.
Okay, you're closer to it. I'm going to tell you the reason what it is. Because they might have heard the truth. And if they would have heard the truth, then they would have not had the courage to continue their evil, which was their agenda from the first place. Exactly. So I don't want to hear the truth so that I can be bold and go up there and slander.
I'm going to back you up. In the article, when y'all get a chance, read it. It says witnesses. Listen good to what the article said. Witnesses identified the two as the culprits. Witnesses. So they'll read that and go, no. Nathanyel went and locked them up because he knew they was innocent. Wicked as hell. But the article said right there, no, we don't accept that.
See that? So they would have called, they would have got that explanation. That would have killed the whole show.
They don't want to hear
So
that.
they said, we don't want to kill it. We still want to run with what we think.
There you go.
We want the preeminence. Going right back to that scripture.
Now I'm going to go on a marathon. Let me go on a marathon, brothers. I'm going to hit 3 scriptures because we're about to close. Titus 3 and 3. I'm going to do a marathon. I ain't going to spend too long on it.
The book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
All of us in here was one time foolish. Come on.
Disobedient.
We were disobedient.
Deceived. Serving diverse lusts.
We was all in the midst of adultery, whoremongering, pornography. Go ahead.
And pleasures.
Living
in malice.
Living in hate, malice.
And envy. Hateful. And hating one another.
Hateful and hating one another. That's the black man today, the black and Latin man. That's these camps today. They have not been born again yet. Psalms 109, 1 through 5.
Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise.
Here's a prayer.
For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue.
This is the prayer I'll be making at night. Go ahead.
They compassed me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. For my love they are my adversaries. But I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love.
There you go. All praise. Now from there, give me Hosea 9 and 7. Hosea, the book of Hosea, chapter 9, verse 7. So I want everybody to pay attention because the laws that we're reading about, hate and envy, is all based upon Leviticus 19, 17 through 19. Everything stems from that law. That's what Christ said. That is one of the great. That's the great of two commandments. Come on.
Hosea chapter 9 and verse 7. The days of visitation are come.
That's now.
The days of recompense are come. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool.
The prophets today are fools. Go ahead.
The spiritual man is mad.
The spiritual man today is crazy.
For the multitude of thine iniquity.
For the multitude of their sins.
And the great hatred.
The great hatred against God's laws. They hate to apply God's laws. That makes them crazy and insane. Get me Sirach 28, 3 to 5, please. Sirach, the Apocrypha.
Sirach 28, 3 to 5. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord.
So, brothers, understand our standpoint in this truth. When the scriptures say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Read that again, Captain Isaac.
One man beareth hatred against another.
If you bear hatred against another brother,
and doth he seek pardon from the Lord,
and you want God to forgive you of your sins, come on.
He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself.
And you show no mercy to a man who's a man just like you. Go ahead.
And doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins?
And you asking God for forgiveness. You've got to be crazy. What verse is that?
That was verse 4.
Go ahead.
If he that is but flesh nourish hatred.
If you brothers and sisters nourish, you know what it means to nourish hatred? You feed it. You look for things to have hate for somebody on. Oh, he said the. I'm mad he used the word the. Give me more. Yeah, and the other day he had red sneakers. Ah! You've got to be kidding me. They got purple rainbow. Go ahead, nourish. Read that again.
If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins?
Give me Luke 6:22. Luke. We're almost done. Luke 6:22.
Luke 6 verse 22. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company.
That's why we are blessed. Men hate us and they separate themselves from us. They say, oh, he won't even speak Hebrew. I know Hebrew. I might tear some brothers up in Hebrew, or what they call Hebrew, or what you call a Lashawan Kodash. But it's, oh, he speaks Yiddish. Okay, all right, read that again.
Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake.
For whose sake, brothers? This is all for Christ's sake. Understand that. Everything that you're hearing, going through, this is for Christ's sake. Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you.
Our enemies in this verse, brothers, are our brothers and sisters, our fellow Israelites. We are to love them. We are commanded to do good to them. It don't mean be stupid now. Y'all understand what I mean?
Right. We don't render evil for evil.
Right. Exactly. Read.
Verse 28. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you.
That's why at the beginning of the prayer, I don't know how many of y'all picked it up, where Laba asked the Most High to bless those, our enemies, those who are against us. He wasn't talking about the white man. Talk about fellow Israelites, okay? So here in IUIC, brothers and sisters, we try our best to apply God's laws in our lives, in our vernacular, in our speech, our conversations, our daily course of living. Don't ever think that we are hypocrites or partial or evil for that matter. Don't ever let it, if it enters your mind, smack yourself. All right?
Can I throw in one thing, Bishop? Because you made a point that I realized the level of hatred for that also. Do you notice in the video they kept putting emphasis on purple, 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 bitches in purple? You know the stuff that they were saying, the comments? Can we go to Sirach chapter? And this is just one of many. This shows that they don't read the Bible. They don't have no understanding of scriptures. Okay? They have no. Did you touch this one? The one in Sirach? No, not that. Now, I know y'all didn't touch this one. Go right here to Sirach chapter 45,
put the icing
verse
on it.
6. Yes.
We made the cake. You coming with the
Yes,
icing.
yes.
Come on with it.
I didn't hear this one come out, so I just want to have it.
45 and verse 6.
Yes.
He exalted Aaron.
He did what?
He exalted.
When you exalt someone, you put them above everybody else. Why? Why did he exalt Aaron? Read on.
In holy man like unto him.
So he exalted a man that was like unto him. Read on.
Even his brother of the tribe of Levi.
Now let's drop down to verse 10. We're gonna get through this real quick.
Verse 10.
No, I'm sorry, verse 8.
Verse 8. He put upon him perfect glory and strengthened him with rich garments.
Say that again.
With rich garment.
Read that verse again.
He put upon him perfect glory and strengthened him with rich garments.
Read on.
With breeches, with a long robe and the ephod.
Not with Black Panthers look. The Black Panthers look, because you got some Israelite camps today that look like the Black Panthers. Exactly like them. Okay, now drop down to verse 10.
Verse 10. With an holy garment with gold and blue silk and purple.
And what?
And purple.
So you are talking about bitches in purple, and that was the royal colors of the priests. Read it again.
And with an holy garment with gold and blue silk and purple, the work of the embroiderer, with a breastplate of judgment, and with Urim and Thummim.
Because it symbolized judgment. Now drop down to verse 12.
He set a crown of gold upon the mitre, wherein was engraved holiness, an ornament of honor, a costly work, the desires of the eyes, goodly and beautiful.
So when people see the garments, they desire them. They look goodly and beautiful. And that's what the other camps say. Right. They put those fancy garments to attract people. Okay, and that's exactly the detail that the Most High put into putting the garments on the men when he exalted them above everybody else. Read verse 13. One more.
Before him, there were none such.
Say that again.
Before him, there were none such.
Before us, there was no other camp wearing purple. Read it again.
Before him, there were none such. Neither did ever any stranger put them on.
So you stay with what you got on. And we're going to exalt this purple, and we're going to make it great. The whole world is going to know about it. Because don't nobody know about you. Read it again.
Before him there were none such, neither did ever any stranger put them on.
You're not worthy to put this on. Read it again.
Before him there were none such, neither did ever any stranger put them on, but only his children and his children's children perpetually.
And that's what we're looking for here, for our children to grow up, and when if the kingdom don't come in our time, the bishop always said, we're going to raise up holy men to keep patterns of good works, because we ain't going to get it from them.
Right. So the Most High is the one that gave us the color scheme for our garments. That's what the Bible is talking about. I'm just going to read something real quick. Give me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. 13 and 1 to 5.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass.
So the subject matter is about charity. That's what these brothers don't have, these camps. They don't have charity. Charity is what we read in Leviticus. That's what charity is. Leviticus 19 is 17 and Leviticus 18, 19 through 17 to 19. I quoted it right?
Yes, sir.
All
Leviticus
right.
19
verse 17 and 18. Read.
I am become as sounding brass of a tinkling cymbal,
So you can have all these gifts and all that, but if you don't have charity to love your brother as you love yourself, you are just as sounding brass. You ain't saying nothing. Read.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
You are still nothing because you lack the basics. You lack what that we read earlier with that first scripture.
The milk.
The beginning principles. I forgot the word that it used. Huh? The oracles. It was something else that we read. But read it again.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
So the Most High is looking for charity. He's looking for the base things in the scriptures, the basics, the deep basics. You with me, Deacon? I thought the deep basics. Come on.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity.
Some of these guys claim that they do all of these things. But listen to what they're lacking. Go ahead.
And though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing.
So all of your quote unquote good works that you claim you're doing, but yet you don't have the love for your brethren, you are nothing. Yeah, you say all of that, feeding the poor, all of that, but you hate your brother, you are nothing. Read.
Charity suffereth long. And it's
charity suffereth long. That's where you should have called and found out. Go ahead.
And is kind. Charity envieth not.
That's the part I wanted to get to. You can't have envy, hatred, covetous spirit toward brothers, and call yourself being charitable. That don't work with the Most High. So they're not believers in the Most High at all. Then the scriptures that I was bringing out earlier reflects that. Go back to that where I had 1 John 4:20. Let me fix that up because the point that I was making was about how they truly hate the Most High, but they're disguising it under they love their brother. They don't love their brother at all.
1 John 4 verse 20. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother.
The truth is that they hate their brother. So they don't love God. That's the point. Go ahead.
He is a liar.
He is a liar because he don't love his brother. And he don't have charity. He hates his brothers. Therefore, he hates God. Read.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
All these guys know us. They didn't call to ask anything, but they ran with it. Pure hatred. Go ahead. Was that it?
This verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
So how in the world you going to say you love God and you hate your brother? The last one, John 15 and 18.
John 15 verse 18. If the world hates you.
So they demonstrated hatred towards us, but is it us that they really hate per se? Because if any of us walk away from this truth, we're no problem. If any of us say, you know what, the hell with the mission, the hell with trying to get Israel to repent and become niggas in the world, we're not a problem anymore. Understand that. The minute we give this up and give the reins to them, first of all, the truth will go in the garbage. They wouldn't even do anything with it. That's the reason why the Most High didn't give it to them for them to run the nation. Let me say that again. The Most High did not give them the spirit to run the nation. That's the reason why they don't have it. Read it again.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
So it's like I said before, it has nothing to do with us per se. They hate what we're teaching. We're teaching about Christ. They hate Christ in us. That's why they hate their brother. That's why they have envy and they talk about charity and doing all these things. Don't fall for that BS. These guys are just as evil as the devil himself.
Can you get 13 again one more time? 1 Corinthians 13 again. Just the verse 4.
Verse 4.
To verse 5, and I'll bounce. That's it.
Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not.
Charity doesn't have envy in it. Go ahead.
Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up.
Stop. That's the part I wanted to have. Charity vaunteth. You know what vaunteth means? It means you boast yourself. If it's not of us, it's not the Lord. We're the only camp. When you hear an elder say things like, I did this, I've done that, that's not the Lord. That's a man that vaunteth himself. Through the Spirit of the Most High, I've done this. That's not said. Charity vaunteth not itself and is not puffed up, where they believe in their small mind that the Lord's going to use their one camp to gather millions of Israelites from all four corners of the earth. That's a third of our people, 144,000 is going to come out of you. Just your camp? Are you serious? That's delusions of grandeur. That's not realistic. That's unrealistic. Read the next verse.
Doth not behave itself unseemly.
Calling brothers names, mockery. That's unseemly means inappropriate. Parading, inappropriate. That's what that is. Go ahead.
Seeketh not her own.
Selfish, doesn't consider themselves. You know what? Let me ask first before I understand first, then rebuke. That law's out the window with that. That's this article revolves around that law being broken. Understand first, then rebuke. That was not applied at all.
Exactly.
That goes back to them seeking not her own. Go ahead.
Is not easily provoked.
Not easily quick to jump and, yeah, see, gotcha. Not easily provoked. Go ahead.
Thinketh no evil.
That's the part. Thinketh no evil. If you think no evil, you're going to say, well, you know one thing, before I think this, let me go and reach them on their public phone number, public emails, public website to see if these things were true. Right. Even when Paul went to Thessalonica, it says that they searched the scriptures to see if these things were true. Because men of wisdom will not go by what someone they read, but at least inquire. Like when you read about Susanna, as Daniel said, as a young boy, a child had common sense to go, you guys are going to kill this sister without examining the knowledge of the truth? You better examine this first. These men who claim to be killers and soldiers, a child showed more wisdom than them.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathanyel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.